URU Metals is the mineral exploration and development company advancing its flagship ZEB nickel project in South Africa. The final quarter of 2025 has been busy, and to talk us through developments, I'm delighted to be joined by Executive Vice President Richard Montjoy. So, Richard, since we last spoke, the mining right has been granted. Post-execution formalities, however, are underway. So, what are they?
Yeah, thanks, Sarah. We're very excited about the granting of the mining rights. That's a massive milestone for us. Right now, we're just busy registering the right with the Mining Titles and Petroleum Registration Office. That's a formality, and there's some routine post-granting housekeeping to do. This includes notifying interested and affected parties, notifying communities, getting our social labour plan in line, up and running, and just aligning some project controls with the new permitting status. And yeah, so none of this changes the work program. It simply locks in our long dated certainty while we execute.
Okay, so once all that housekeeping and all the T&Cs are in place, how does this position you to attract the necessary partners to progress ZEB? What responsibilities would any partners have, or can you do it all yourself?
Well, it certainly aligns with our strategy of de-risking the project. This permitting certainty is a catalyst that quality partners look for. So, partners are always looking for a de-risk project, and we had prospecting rights. The tenure was up, so this gives us 30-year tenure. So this 30-year mining right across our district scale footprint on the northern limb, we can now focus conversations with partners, technical groups, and yeah, I think really strategic partners. So the briefly disciplined, we'll be looking for co-funding and to co-design a tightly focused drill program. A good technical partner who can contribute knowledge on and technical depth on nickel sulfide systems would be great. And we're just going to be continue with a program of de-risking downstream and yeah, just our downstream options, offtake, metallurgy. But really, our focus remains to just find a good quality ore body.
Okay. And in that quest to find that good quality ore body, I know that the next steps include the ground gravity and frequency domain electromagnetic surveys. So which areas and when will we get the results? And what are you hoping these surveys will clarify and reveal that the quest of the ore body?
So Sarah, think about the just putting on your glasses and looking at this with nice high definition. That's what the focus is doing, and just eliminating all risk when it comes to drilling. We really don't want to miss. So we're working on two priority target areas along the margins of our recently defined intrusive body, and that's exactly where we expect to find these nickel sulfide systems. So basically, we're just finalising the land access agreement. We're hoping to get that done this week and really get onto the ground in earnest in November. And we'll be that should be a sort of a 2 to 3 week program. And as soon as we get the data, we'll be modelling will get underway, and we hope to have some tight drill target definitions.
So earlier on, you talked about attracting those good quality partners and perhaps one that will provide co-funding. So after this month's oversubscribed placing, you raised about £1 million. What will those funds raised allow you to achieve, and is it enough before you attract a quality partner?
Well, to answer your question, what the funds are going to be used for, it's basically funds our near-term program, our ground gravity, our EM, our interpretation, we call it plate modeling, integrating this with our geological database and our leapfrog model. And on the back of that, we'll do drill planning and drill targeting, and depending exactly what comes out of that, we will get some drilling out of it, and really just further de-risk the project. And so it just gives us a clear pathway through targeting the drill decision gate, and it also preserves the options on execution. So it's a really nice focused program that we just hope to de-risk as much as possible. Of course, it is mineral exploration, always high risk, but if it's there, we don't want to miss.
So, in many of the shareholder updates issued by the company, it's always made a bit of a thing of its tight share register. I'm just wondering, what does that mean? Is it more people hold than sell, loyal shareholders? It's so tight that there's no free float and the stock's illiquid. What does it mean?
Well, I guess it means a concentrated and hopefully aligned shareholder base, which consists of insiders, cornerstone holders, and long-term institutions. And you're right, there is a relatively modest free float. Practically, I guess that reduces the day-to-day churn, and it does force us to be disciplined with news flow, but it can also magnify moves in both directions. So really, I see it as our job is to pair that register with high quality, verifiable milestones, I guess.
So, in terms of that disciplined news flow, finally, Richard, what are investors likely to hear about next?
Well, I think the sequence is quite clear. I mean, firstly, the completion of the ground geophysics acquisition and an interpretation of that. So we should get that out in the next couple of weeks. And then, what falls out of that will be the drill plan, the parameters, the locations, and how we'll stage it, how we'll execute that actual drilling. In parallel to this, of course, is the confirmation of the formality of the mining right registration at Mining Title's office. And of course, if there's any material partnering or financing or things like that, we'll certainly, of course, have to RNS that. So, but certainly, my job is the near term. We see the near term value driver as just good technical work converting to drilling.
Very good. And that's quite a responsibility you have, Richard Montjoy, the Exploration Vice President of URU Metals. Thank you very much indeed.